Hey, what's up, guys? It is your boy AnnoyingLlama back at it again, ready to kick some motherfucking ass and take some names. We are here to make another video of Embers Adrift. If you guys don't know, I love playing Embers Adrift. It's a very fun game, and I also stream it on Twitch, twitch.tv/AnnoyingLlama. So definitely come over there, check it out. And today we're gonna go over the patch notes that came out last week, actually last Tuesday on the 26th of August. And on the recording of this, it would be the 2nd of September. So I had to check the date for a second. And yeah, so we're just gonna dive right in and check it out. We're going to be skipping a few things, like, certain things like the fixes, but I will also have the patch notes also linked to in the description below. But they usually have it on Steam, so definitely check it out from there. If you haven't joined their Discord, also join the Discord. Okay, the point is, let's get ourselves started with this. I don't want to take too much of you guys' time. Now, I can go over the fixes and stuff like that. The fixes are just basic stuff, fixing up some stuff in New Haven Valley and blah, blah, blah. Some stuck stuff and blah, blah, blah. You get the idea. The fixes are already there, but the improvements is kind of the rest of this whole freaking thing I actually want to talk about. Quickly skimming over these things. They have things like they added dithering effects for the most vegetation when the camera is close to proximity. Added augments to the slash played plate. So they basically added like slash played options where you can actually now see it. Where you can either see it from your entire account, you can see how long you have been playing Embers Adrift, or you can do it slash played your character's name, and then you can basically have your character. You can see how long you've had your slash played through the character itself. But the main slash played or slash played all means that you can just see it from all your characters combined, as in how long you have played Embers Adrift in general game time. So I think it's a really cool change to add. I think it's really cool. When it comes to the dithering effect for the vegetation thing, I don't know what dithering is. I haven't done any research on that, but I'm assuming that's when you come up to a thing and it just kind of pops up a little bit better. I don't know. The point is, let's continue. Added specific loading tips to the loading images regarding those images. Basically, just those tips are, I guess, should help. I guess with loading tips, just add more options and stuff like that. I guess. Added a confirmation dialogue when deploying a portable crafting station while your bags are missing. I think that's such a cool thing. This is a confirmation dialogue, so basically if you are missing your bags because you end up dying or something like that, there are times where I've actually clicked up the fucking portable thing by accident, and so I end up summoning my portable freaking crafting station, and so that kind of sucks, I'm not gonna lie, but yeah, that's a reasonable thing to add. Added a confirmation dialogue when attempting to apply a consumable when the consumable effect is already applied. I think this was a really fucking good one to add, because there were beforehand you had to cancel the normal effect. You had to cancel, so you have like 3 minutes left on your food and you want to apply another one. Well, you can't really do it until you cancel the actual buff itself and then apply it. And it's like, I like this option because you could just cancel. It just has like pops up a thing. Hey, are you sure you want to do this? Overwrite the thing? Yeah, I want to overwrite it. Boom, there you go. Makes it a lot easier for yourselves in the long run. Escape now closes confirmation dialogues. Can use toggle to merchant windows. Oh yeah, the can use. Yeah, so the can use is actually really cool. I do like that because you just boom and there you go. It shows all the stuff that you can actually use itself. Not like I think they added to the crafting merchants too, and I have to double check that just in case. Now when it comes to chat window, they just talk about essentially just revamping. Revamp saving and loading procedure for chat windows so they are more reliable. Basically, just to kind of help it out a little bit. It just makes it really good. Added reset chat windows. That's actually a really cool thing to add. Added a healing filter to combat tabs. Thank God. There are times where, as a warlord, it shows every little tick of healing that it does for the whole group. So sometimes you just want to see your damage. So you just want to see your damage and shit like that. So that's just people who just want to turn that off. And yeah, definitely, that's pretty cool stuff. Pretty cool things I think they added on here recently is the added all loot button. Loot all button, and also the keybind for loot all. I was just doing this actually with stream yesterday, and I enjoyed the fuck out of it, dude. To have a loot all key or just a loot all button ready to go, they fucking needed that since day one, and I'm so happy they finally got it in there. If you guys don't know, they didn't actually have a loot all function, so you have to click in every single individual item to get it in, or when it rolled for the group, it just automatically goes to your bags. But still, when you're soloing like lower dungeons and stuff like that, and you see items, you just want to get shit just to get shit and sell it, this is the reason why you want a loot all function. So I'm glad they actually have that in. Now, this is actually a pretty cool thing. It may not sound like big things right here, but these are actually really cool things right here. The map window can now be resized in slightly to be slightly larger and considerably smaller. I like that. Sometimes when you open up the map, just knowing that you can actually resize it, I'm glad they're actually starting working on more UI things to just make the game feel a lot more function and feel a lot better. Even for the auction house, I'm gonna actually just skip to the bit because that's all I really have to say with that one. The auction house, buy it now. Okay, this is actually a really cool thing. Now shows the reduced price when you're currently the highest bidder. The total cost remains unchanged. However, if you are the highest bidder, you could pay the difference between the bid and buy it now amount. A lower buy it now indicator has been added to this effect. The tooltip shows the original price. So this, if you don't understand what that means basically, let's say there's a sword on the market. Let's say a cobalt sword, right? It's a really nice healing sword and stuff like that. Level 30. You're like, if someone sells it for 5 gold, but they have the bid set to 2 gold, right? So you say you set the bid for 2 gold, someone bids it again, and then you end up bidding it, now it's like 3 gold, some shit like that, right? You're the highest bidder. Let's say it's at 3 gold. So you're like, you know what? I have enough gold. I can buy it now, right? You could, instead of just buying it for 5 gold right off the rip, you buy the difference of your current bid. So because you already paid 3 gold into the current bid, now in order to really buy the full thing, to really just claim it at that point, you could just skip the whole fucking waiting for the whole item to like fully finish bidding and just buy it outright. So you could just buy it, boom, there you go. You buy it, but instead of buying it for the 5 gold, you buy it for the 2 gold. You just buy it for 2 gold because you already invested 3 gold into it. And I think that's a really cool option for people who just, you put a bid in it because you put a bid on it because you really want the item, and then someone else is bidding and blah blah blah. You're bidding up, blah blah blah. But if you're the highest bidder, you just pay the difference. You're good. You've already paid the full price. The person who's getting it still gets the full price, 5 gold. But it's just really good if you just really want that item and you don't want to lose it or something like that. Like it's just really good in the long run. I like that chase. It just makes things a lot better. And I don't think any MMO that I've actually ever played has that particular option in there when it comes to their auction house. Usually it's just, even if I drop 3 gold out of the 5 gold, I still have to pay 5 gold for the full price. It's just a bid. It's just something, you get the idea. Now, let's go on to design. When it comes to design, I think this is actually probably one of the big things I want to talk about. There's Ibaxus fixes and stuff like that I don't think I need to really like cover. You could definitely check that out on yourself. Because I'm not in Ibaxus right now. So if you want Ibaxus changes, there you go. You could read that right there. But there's a couple more things I do want to talk about with this patch notes. Is mainly the design section of this. So let's talk about it. Design. Increase 3 Chev mob experience reward by 20%. Hallelujah. Can we get an amen in chat, guys? I'm not even Christian, for God's sake. Can we get an amen in chat, guys? I'm just saying. Look, mainly the comment section because it's a YouTube video, but still. Can we get an amen in the comment section, bro? This is something I've been asking for the longest of time. Increase 3 Chev mob experience by 20%. Dude, that just means if you kill 3 Chev mobs, you get more EXP for it. That is flat rate just fucking amazing. Slow respawn rate of Stonecoat and Droll's Camp in Grimstone Canyon. As much as if you guys have never ran the Stonecoat and Droll's Camp and Grimstone Canyon, bro, that shit is a bitch to run. Even when I was at the level, I guess it was like level 38 when I was running that. That shit, even level 50s were struggling in that motherfucker, all right? Because you need it for one of the fucking Grimstone quests, and it was a bitch to run. It was fun as shit because how dangerous this was, but it was a bitch to run because everything will respawn really fucking fast. And now, if you were farming the name that was over there, yeah, 100%, that'd be great. But yeah, no, it was a bitch to run. Increase the spawn chance for Blightroot and Deeproot mangroves within Blightroot Grove. That's great because there's a Deeproot set that's in there. And I think that's a really good thing to increase the spawn rates of Deeproots, Mandrake, and Mangroves because it has a higher chance of dropping the set. If you want to farm that set out. Stricter leashes on mobs within streaking barrows to reduce the chance of 2 Chev mobs wandering into 1 Chev loop. That's happened to me multiple times. I'm glad they changed that. Increase the leash range of freehold mobs that were resetting too quickly. That's another big change. I love about the one thing about freehold that was the biggest problem is that they were leashing way too early. You would pull them back, and sometimes if you pull them a little too far, boom, they just run right back. It's like, oh, I'm glad they're increasing that range. I fucking love that. Most smuggler camps in New Haven Valley are reduced to one shift camps. I actually just tested this out yesterday. Yes, a lot of the camps in New Haven Valley are now one shift. Javier in particular, you know, he's used to be a 3 shift. Now he's a 2 shift, which makes sense. You know, as a new player, you want to kind of still fight around this part, but they kind of reduce the amount of 3 shift camps that are all around the new player experience. Now, doesn't mean like you still have to run the dungeon to really get that full group experience, but it allows people to kind of still explore around certain areas while feeling like they're not really feeling they're too restricted. Here we go. Wayward Mangrove Path moved to Nuva area in New Haven Valley. So I also did that test too. Yeah. So the Wayward Mangrove used to be it would just only circle the first half of the top half of New Haven Valley, but now he actually goes all the way back to like where the beginning area is, and it's just like this is like that feeling, that cool feeling of just like a mob that's kind of like rocking around there, and everyone's like, whoa, what the fuck? Because everyone's like full of reaction when they see a mangrove. I do think they should make the model a little bit bigger, not gonna lie, but that's just me. Yeah, so here we go. Mandrakes now spawn in the new area in New Haven Valley. So yeah, they also moved the mandrakes a little bit further back, adding that sense of just like, you know, you're not just fighting deers, bears, and shit like that. Little mandrakes here and there. And it's like moving them back into the newbie area, I think was a great idea. It just adds a little bit of diversity, makes the game feel a little bit more alive and stuff like that. So more mobs, the better. Increase the threat of Bash, Knight's Bash, and Marshal's pressure and sweep. Increasing threat on tanks in general is fucking huge. I think that's fucking amazing. Good fucking job. The next one is one of my favorite ones. Warlord ability Despair Alchemy versions now additional enhance the healing reduction debuff. So basically, the more so Alchemy 1 and Alchemy 2, each layer of those have increased healing reduction. So now, if you want to go into Despair or play like a more of a DPS role for Warlord as a healer, usually it's normally a healer role, but if you want to play that in more of DPS, you can use Despair to help reduce extra healing. So if you use Alchemy 2, it does like a fuck ton of healing reduction. So I fucking love that. Quarterstaff of the Glacier stats have changed into more support focused stats. So now people who are playing support specs, when you're doing in-game raids, Quarterstaff of the Glacier is one of the quarterstaffs that are in the one for the level 50 raid bosses in GP or Grizzle Peaks. And so yeah, they changed the stats to make it more susceptible for supportive builds and stuff like that. So I'm like, hell yeah! I just saw those stats yesterday. What was it? Dorkachu. She had the staff herself, and yeah, they made the great changes. It's fucking awesome. I'm really excited to get into level 50 and start doing the raids. Stag does and elks now have a chance to drop tea leaves as loot. They still drop it from skinning. Big fucking W. If you play a hunter spec or a hunter profession or hunting profession per se, one of the big things that you have to do, especially as a hunter, you get tea leaves from killing elks and does and shit like that, right? And these tea leaves can only get it from skinning. Now, when you kill just deers, you kill the deers, you can get it not only from skinning, but you also get it from killing, which actually brings more tea leaves into the market as a whole, into the economy more. I love that. These are big things. Like I said, I think this is a really fucking great change. Now, when it comes to the Ibaxus changes, there's just a lot of fixes, a lot of nerfs, a lot of fucking buffs to a lot of things that are in Ibaxus. Again, I'm not in Ibaxus right now, so if you guys want to check it out, I'm just going to put it up on the screen for a little bit as I'm talking about it. But yes, they have made a crap ton of Ibaxus changes, so definitely check it out. If you do play, if you're already in Ibaxus in level 50, Ibaxus is the level 50 zone GP2. So if you haven't checked it out, here it is on the screen. Let's move on. The gel experience adjustments. Now, I'm actually going to go through the entirety of this because this is actually really important change right here that I kind of want to get into not too long because, again, I don't want to take up too much of your time, guys. But again, I'm going to try to do my best to explain this as possible. Now, if you don't understand what the gel is, well, let's talk about it here. When you group with other players, our group elevated level gel, or as what they call our group elevated level gel system, helps lower level players keep up with their high level group mates. Gel temporarily raises your effective combat combat level up to +5 higher than your adventuring level, so that you can better land hits and contribute against more difficult enemies. Previously, the experience reward while gelled were calculated based on your real level. This ultimately led to the lower level players getting poor experience returns when compared to other activities. With this month's update, experience rewards will now be calculated using your gel level when comparing against enemies' level. That means your experience gains will be better matched with the challenge of what the group is fighting. Here's an example. Here's the old system. Drendon level 20 groups with Undone level 26. Gel raises Drendon's effective combat to 25. They defeat a level 27 NPC. Drendon is effective in combat. Drendon experience reward is calculated based on the delta +7, which results in diminished experience as if the NPC was level 17 light blue. Note the experience for levels delta +3, +4, +5 is diminished. With the new system, same scenario. Drendon's level 20, Undun's plus level 26. In Gel, it raises Drendon's combat level to 25. They defeat level 27 NPC. Drendon's is still effective in combat, and experience reward is calculated based on the +2 delta, which results in non-diminished EXP as if the NPC was a level 22 yellow. We fully recognize that this doesn't solve all of our problems, but we believe it is a step in the right direction. It also is worth noting that while this is not exactly a catch-up mechanic, lower level players should progress through the levels at a faster pace than their higher level group mates. This is because a higher level requires more kills to progress when compared to lower levels, and that is true. Now, with that being said, I think this is a fucking god tier change. This is something that we've been talking about forever. Again, this is not the last change. This is not the only and all change they're going to make. They're going to be looking into improving the gel system as a whole. But I think this is actually, yes, 100% a step in the right direction. Now you can actually fight higher level mobs and actually get really good EXP. And now if you're in a group fighting 3 chefs, you get more EXP from that and actually get rewarded the EXP for the challenge that you were committed in, for like even when you group up with someone that's a little bit higher than you. With that being said, power leveling is still kind of in this game, but I don't recommend anybody really power leveling because there's a lot of systems that are coming in that I think a lot of systems in the game that you do need to learn, not just killing and smashing and bashing shit, but even things like pulling and stuff like that. I understand the population is pretty low, so some people just want to get just kind of like see the higher level stuff. But the game does have a solo kind of like somewhat solo options that you can solo your way to level 50. It does take a lot longer, but it is still possible. Now, this is where the juicy meaty shit kicks in, and this is something that I have been talking about for the longest of time. We're gonna get into next month's patch. They already teased us next month's patch. And I think this is something that is going to probably take a little bit longer in the video. So please be in mind, this is the discussion portion of it as we talk about this. So let's just dive right in. For next month's update, we're working hard on revamping the new player experience for the next month's patch. This plan is to start all players off with specializations and allow them to acquire their Emberstone plus Alchemy at level 6. Stay tuned as we will need some heavy QA testing. Also, note that next month's patch will come a week earlier on September 27th. Oh, sorry, September 23rd. My bad. This is fucking huge. Now, I have actually already got insider information on this through Undone because he came into my stream and we were talking about it, and he was telling me that they were in discussions of actually already talking about this. And there's actually a lot more to this that I do want to discuss with this. So let's start with the first part of this. With the plan is to start players with specializations. So if you don't know what that means, in Embers Adrift, when you make your character right now, you get striker, defender, supporter. You start off as one of those 3, and then after that, when you get to level 6, you can essentially branch off into the actual like specializations, or aka the subclasses in the game. So let's say if you're playing supporter, warlord, sentinel, and duelist. So if you now with the new update for the new player revamp or something like what we're seeing here, you now can start off when you create your character. You could choose between 9 classes essentially. They're no longer going to be called just specialization. There's going to be classes at this point. You go to choose 9 classes. You can choose the warlord, duelist, sentinel, the juggernaut for tanks, juggernaut, Marshal, and Knight. And for DPS or Striker, you would choose Berserker, Brigand, or Warden. And those are 9 options you could choose from. And I think that's such a fucking big change to make, because it gives people the options to get all that stuff. And also with other information with that, they are planning to actually bring your level 6 ability that you would normally get when you choose a specialization, so your starter ability with your specialization, at level 1. So it gives you more abilities to play with, more time to kind of have some fun. Now, with that being said, I think they should actually add a little bit 2 or 3 more abilities for every class throughout the leveling journey, just because that will help kind of fill it out a little bit more. With that being said, the second thing I want to talk about is allowing them to acquire Embers Stone and Alchemy at level 6. Now, this one's a little bit contentious for some people, but I'm just going to say, fuck them. I'm sorry. I'm just going to say it. I'm going to catch a lot of hate from the community for people who are very much against this, but I am so fucking for this. As as someone who helps a lot of new players out, who streams Embers Adrift on twitch.tv/AnnoyingLlama, who streams on Twitch and stuff like that, I get a lot of new players come in. And one of the biggest things they never get to see, because they never really get to make it to level 20, is to get Alchemy or the Embers Stone. And Embers Stone you can get at level 10, and Alchemy you get at level 20. To get both of them at level 6 is so fucking huge. I keep hitting my desk. You see that? Whenever you hear that, that's my desk. But allows them to acquire it at level 6 means that they can level it up better. Throughout their leveling journey, you could get Alchemy 2 earlier, because in order to get Alchemy 2, you have to use the ability, the Alchemy version of that ability 200 times, and then it brings it to Alchemy 2, so then it gives you that option. Now you could do it a lot better now. At low levels, you're probably going to be recruiting a little bit of Emperor here and there, but I think these are really good things. With that being said, I think they should make the level 10 and 20 ways to make those quests ways to increase the capacity. For those who do not know this, your Embers Stone can be actually you start off, I think, was it 150, and you could do quests throughout your leveling journey to increase the capacity of the Embers Stone. So I think the max one right now is like you get it at 300, and they also change colors too. It's pretty cool. But I think it's a really cool thing for them to kind of really go out of their way to bring this to new players, get their hands on this alchemy, get their hands on the magic system, get their hands on its Embers Stones, and which also really shows, because here's the thing, guys, if you really think about it, this could lead to a path of a caster class. And I have talked, when Undo came to the stream, he already told me what they wanted to do. Another thing Undo also mentioned that they were also planning on doing is revamping all of New Haven Valley. But that being said, that's still in the works. That's still in the talks. We're gonna have to wait until next month to see what all the big changes they have done. I know they have been working on this for months now, so it's not just something they just did last minute. This is something they have done for months now and been planning even further back. So, but let's talk about the caster class theory. I want to go with, because the Embers Stone and Alchemy are going to be set at level 6. This is something that Undone even mentioned, is that they want to still add a caster class into Embers Adrift, and they have been looking into ways to even do that. And they don't just want to do a generic fireball slinging, shit like that, but they want to have a caster class that actually feels like a fucking caster. Now, I think personally they should definitely go for a caster that's kind of like a Gandalf, kind of the gray, kind of Lord of the Rings kind of vibe, where it's has this little bit mid-fantasy, high-fantasy kind of thing, where you're not just singing fireballs, because it doesn't feel like, you don't want to just keep singing fireballs left and right, but actually use your skills, and like you can still use a melee and shit like that, or if you want to, or maybe even use like a new kind of type of weapon. I have a caster class video that I've been working on for a while now. That's a whole fucking thing that probably won't come out for like months to now, because I really want to flesh everything out to kind of sell the idea. But I think they should definitely make a new weapon that's kind of like a wand or something like that, or like a catalyst of some sort, where you essentially can shoot basically like little like lightning or some shit like that at your targets, and then your main abilities are like the fireballs, the fucking ground slams and shit like that, the stuns and shit, like just shit like that, like put like fucking curses and dots and shit like that. That'd be such a cool thing to add. And but the way that they're doing it now, I think it's such a great thing, because they're adding the specializations as a starter thing, so you don't have to get to level 6 to get your main stuff, but you get more classes in there. At the same time, with getting your Embers Stone Alchemy at level 6, if they were to add a caster class, it would just add more to that specialness of me having that magic class right then and there, giving their hands to the players and blah blah blah. Now that's just my whole thing on this. But again, going back to the new player experience, I think this is a great fucking change. And again, if they do revamp New Haven Valley, definitely make it a lot more. They should probably even increase the size of it a little bit, but at the same time, make things a little bit more cohesive when it comes to that level experience. Really liven up New Haven Valley, add more NPCs, add more quests, add more like city, like mini towns and stuff like that to show that it's still populated but still overrun with here and things here and there. They should also probably revamp CV1 because CV1 also I think kind of needs, yeah, I mean just revamp it in a system like adding more. Take things out of it, but I think adding more, make it go deeper, really show like they're messing with Ember, they're messing with things down here, like show off a little bit of like I don't know CV1 and kind of add a little extra mystery to it. I think CV1 would be a really cool thing for them to kind of do a tiny revamp with. Maybe even add some new bosses, add some Ashen mobs inside there. That would be fucking awesome. With that being said, I think that basically covers the whole patch notes for this video for the August 26th patch notes. I know I kind of went on a little bit of a rant there, but tell me what you guys think about this. Tell me what you guys think about the what the recent changes and stuff with the UIs and the fucking design changes and stuff like that when it comes to grouping, and also what your guys' ideas with the gel system and also the freaking the freaking revamp that's coming up next month. I mean, what are you guys' thoughts on this? Definitely let me know in the comment section below. Also, if you don't like Embers Adrift, by all means, you don't have to like the game, but at the same time, I think it's a perfect time to get in here. Just give it another shot. So I will see you guys hopefully in Embers Adrift, but I'll see you guys next time. I got a couple more videos on the works right now, so keep being amazing, be the best Llama you can be, have some fun, and I will see you guys in Embers Adrift. Also, don't forget to check me out on Twitch, twitch.tv/AnnoyingLlama, as we stream Embers Adrift every Monday, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays. So yeah, you guys stay safe, be the best Llama you can be, and fucking enjoy yourselves. Peace.